Hey everyone, it's Wednesday. Pretty quick one here today. Not really a ton of stuff going out. Um, Nothing really eventful either. Just a typical day here. Looks like we got like $250 worth of stuff going out. 11 items. Um, Pretty quick and easy. Finally sold another one of these little Harley guys. I think this is like the third or fourth one I've sold out of the set that I picked up. I think I paid 60 or something for the collection. This one sold for $13.94. I think I might have just dropped the prices on these because it's probably been about 6 months that I've had those. And I think most of them were originally started out at $14.99, so that probably does look like that did have a 10% price drop, unless I sent an offer out to somebody. But I usually don't send offers of 10%. This is a Thor trade paperback. This one is still sealed. Blood Oath, I believe. This sold for $12.08. Got that in a auction lot of trade backs, or graphic novels, whatever you want to call them. It's like vice versa, depending on who you talk to and what they call them. This is a remote control that I've had for a long time. I was picking up remotes for a while. I would pay $1. I would never pay more than $1 for a remote at the flea market. And they are so plentiful. They used to sell really good for me, but the market's really tanked. There are still some remotes out there. They're easy to test, they're easy to list, they're easy to ship. So I still not gonna say goodbye to them. I'm just not really going out of my way to buy them, just because I don't want to. I don't have a really good way to organize them. I think if that was a better way of organizing, because I don't want to spend 6 hours searching for a remote. Like if I had like a wall and I could put each one into a sleeve or something like that, some way of organizing it, I think I would probably enjoy selling remotes better that way. Or maybe like one of those boxes that have individual slots in them. That could be something that works, but I'm not putting a whole lot of time into it because I have so much other inventory that I enjoy selling. Even though this is an easy one, even though this only got me $6.55, like I said, it's $1 into it. Throw it into a poly bag or padded flat rate. I have almost no returns on these, so they're a good item to sell if you're looking for something easy. If you can figure out a way to where you're not spending, going through a box and trying to find which one. I was trying to do shrink wrap and putting like this label on here, but even this is not ideal. Bob Hope DVD set. Oh crap! It says that this is sealed, and it is not sealed. Why did I put sealed in the title? There, I got two of them. Sometimes you get ahead of yourself. Crap. Sold for a whole whopping $5.39. Great. Yeah, hopefully they looked at the photographs and saw that it was not sealed. I did sell it as used, so. Another one of these Harley keychains sold. Like I said, I only got one bad response on the 4 that I've sold, so that sold for $8.99. Looks like I still got 6 more of those left. Funny thing is I sold my Indiana Glass Beehive dish yesterday. Now I got another Indiana Glass, also Blue Frost. Came from a completely different estate than that other one came from yesterday. This is like a little candy dish. This one's got like grape leaves on it. And these don't seem to be as highly sought after as the other ones. This sold for $16.99. I sold this Coca-Cola bottle. This is kind of cool. This when you start looking at soda bottles, you want to look at the top. This is a crown top, so this is one would actually take a bottle cap that most people are familiar with. But you can tell how thick the glass is, and that it does have some bubbles in it. This, you can tell, was probably dug. And then the way the writing is on this, so this is early 1900s, probably 1920 to 1930s is whenever they started coming out with the king tops, I want to say. So I'd say this is probably early version of that. Also, you can see on the bottom here. But there's blob tops, and then there's other styles. But that is a very old Coca-Cola logo style. It is Tampa, Florida on there, so that does garner some collectability of the location, and that it's a Coke bottle, and it's very old. This sold for $39.99. It's definitely not $100 bottle like one I had sold in the past year. This manual, I have a bunch of these. I bought a collection of long box PlayStation. The first release of PlayStation games were in long boxes. So this, I bought a collection of them, but they didn't have the boxes. They just had the manuals and the games, and they were in a binder. And I was gonna keep them, but then I've pretty much got all the long box games myself, so I decided to go ahead and sell off that collection. I had this listed with the games, and somebody messaged me asking just to buy the manual, and I was like, well, I got the whole thing set up for, I think, $85 for the manual and games. This is like $100 if I would have had the box, I think, if I remember correctly. So I said, well, what's your offer on the manual? They offered me $20, and I said, well, I'll do 20 plus shipping for the manual, just because the manual's a little harder. The games I'll be able to sell easily. I think the manual holds it back because without the box, because you can't fit these manuals in there. So if you have the long box, no manual, it's a little more desirable. So I felt $20 was worth redoing the listing, and then I just popped the games back on again for $85 without the manual. So that was an easy, quick edit of photographs. It wasn't too complicated. I didn't have to retake photographs. I just had to delete some photos from the listing. I picked up some more pins from my pin source. This is the Up House. This sold for $9.99. A DVD and a CD. That's all I got left. I got Franz Ferdinand. This sold for $5.99. And a copy of Suicide Kings. That probably sold. Oh, I actually had some pretty good money on there for $4.37. So that's all I got going on here today. So nothing really too eventful at this point. So keep hustling, everyone.